Soda Fiend. Today we're going to take a look at a grape soda. This is from the Durango Soda Company in Durango, Colorado. And their line is called Zuberfizz. Now, Zuberfizz consists entirely of brewed sodas, and they are soda, caffeine-free, pure cane sugar, and, just to be absolutely clear, the letter Z. We have a pretty dedicated craft soda here, if you take the time to read this label, which I am not going to do. They tout their ingredients and talk about the Rocky Mountain spring water with which this soda is constructed. Now, turning to the ingredients list, we can see that there are 43 grams of sugar, a very average amount of sugar in this soda. And the ingredients list goes down a pretty standard list. Triple filtered carbonated water, pure cane sugar, natural and artificial flavors, citric acid, sodium benzoate, red 40, and blue 1. Now, probably a lot of the flavors actually coming from the citric acid and a lot of these fruit sodas. Not going to really speculate as to quantities in that department, but clearly what we have here is a craft soda from a dedicated brewer. And one thing I really like about Zuberfizz, I should say, horribly mispronouncing their name, is that they offer all of their sodas on tap. So you can actually get kegs of these, which of course I have not done, but it's not the most common thing among soda producers, although it does certainly exist, and root beer is probably the most common variety of soda that you find that way. Anyway, let's just take a little look at this paper label, which I find very classy indeed, particularly in the grape variant, where it's printed in this kind of nice purple with the reddish bottle cap representing the idea of soda, which of course is also represented by the existence of the bottle of soda. So let's crack and pour a little bit of this. Our bottle cap today, let's rotate, is printed in black on the silver metal directly and with a negative image provided by the white space, so to speak, of the image provided by the black, and the silver providing the body of this logo, which I honestly think looks pretty great on this bottle cap. Got to admit. In the end, though, of course, it is a bottle cap. So, take a little taste on the way to the glass. Okay, now looking at craft grape sodas that are produced with dedication, we have to take a look at the question, what the heck actually separates one grape soda from another one? Well, a distinct flavor of natural grape would do that. We are not really getting that here because we're getting a traditional flavor grape. It doesn't taste like an actual physical grape. It tastes like you would expect a grape soda to taste. So, basically, unless the flavor is a bomb, which this is not, I can already tell you, then we're going to be looking primarily at smoothness as a differentiating factor in grape sodas, I think. So let's just knock this back all at once and see how it goes. Okay. Reporting. Got a pretty medium to mild level of carbonation in this grape soda. I think it's pretty well meant to be drunk straight. It is not as thick as a new grape, for instance. My repertoire of grape sodas is not huge, kind of goes back a ways. I would rate this as very similar to a Stewart's grape. It is not as thick as that. In fact, it's not really as thick as any grape soda I've had. This is pretty smooth as far as that goes. The grape flavor is very much the traditional grape soda flavor that one would expect. So, let's take a little pour over some ice here and bottle. See how this goes. I think it's going to be kind of neither here nor there, to tell the truth. That holds up pretty well. I have actually had a Zuberfizz Grape before. The prototype episode of the Soda Fiend featured Zuberfizz Grape. And I'm going to come out with pretty much the same judgment I had at that time, which is that I will recommend this grape. Now, as noted, the differentiating factors between grape sodas outside of some highly unusual flavor are a bit minimal. But this is very smooth. It is easy to drink. The effervescence is of appropriate levels. The dye, it's fine, actually. A grape is always going to look a little over-dyed, I think, just because the color is dark. I don't think this is overdone at all. This is pretty much right in the zone, in my opinion. So, I'm going to go ahead and recommend Zuberfizz Grape as strongly as I can recommend any grape. It is a difficult soda flavor to get highly enthusiastic about, although it is also a difficult soda flavor to hate. And the grape flavor is one of the great traditional flavors of soda. It really goes back to the 19th century. Probably before most of the other flavors. Not all by any means, but grape goes back, man, for real. And I think Zuberfizz does a pretty good job here. Always approve of a properly brewed soda. And the Soda Fiend says okay. So, gonna sign off. As always, take care of your choppers if you're throwing carbonation and sugar at them. All right. Thank you very much, and good night.